Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Keone Productions and one of our newest shows, the J and K Show. I'm here with Jay and Katie Blackman, and one of the things, of course, those of you who come to my channel a lot will know that is when we have a new show, we always do the first episode of Meet the Cast, where I interview them. Some shows I stick around and co-host, and some shows I get the hell out of the way. This is one of those shows where I'm going to get the hell out of the way most of the time. So, welcome, Katie and Jason Blackman. I should say Jason's name first because he's a man. No, I'm just kidding. Um, he's a Niners fan, so that kind of takes it back a little bit. But your show, I want to welcome to the show. Welcome to your show, right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm excited to be here.
So, the first question I always ask is, what made you want to do this show? Katie and I'm Jason, and Katie, you tell me what this show is going to be all about.
So Jason and I
Go ahead.
we got married in November, and we thought it'd be fun to put together a show where we kind of talk to other couples. And this is both of our second marriages, so it's gives us a chance to reflect on what happened in the past first, what's going on now.
Well, they say third time's a charm. So,
if you want, I'll put him in a headlock right here for everybody.
We'll get divorced and remarried. That'll be the third job. Shut up. Go ahead.
I mean, it's just a nutshell of what the experiences we've been through. I've been in a long-term marriage and some relationships along the way, and every relationship I've taken, I've learned something to come into this one when I met this lovely young woman, and I just kind of put all my research, we'll say, I put that all into a pot and kind of like threw caution in the wind, and this is where I am now, happily married. So
the first thing you did was look up mugshots, right?
Yeah.
If there's
Jersey girls, so, you gotta look up. You gotta check on. You don't know what to expect from a Jersey girl.
Oh man, that is awesome. One of the things I know you guys, it's in the description that you're going to talk about is interracial dating, which I think is such a fun topic. And I mean fun, it's not always funny, but it's a fun topic because you all know my friend Chris. She used to be my roommate for about 5 years. She's Caucasian, and it was always funny. We'd go to the grocery store, and people assumed we were dating, and some of the looks we would get reminds you're in the South.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, see, that's the thing. Like, Katie has witnessed that, surprisingly, me, I have not.
That's so funny because it was the opposite for me and Chris. She would never notice it, but I'd always point it out to her.
He doesn't pay attention. That's why he doesn't notice.
Not even pay attention. It hasn't. I don't get looks. I don't get why are they together? I mean, yeah. I guess you can just, me, you know me. So I pretty much can throw myself in any situation. I adapt to anybody's, right. whatever comes my way. So it's like, for me, it's just like, if it is, I don't see it. So
now,
because it is.
What's the children's situation like? Did you both have kids from a previous marriage? Do you have kids together? How many kids? Like, what's that situation like?
So we have 5 kids between the two of us, none together. Jason has 2 sons, and I have 2 daughters and a son.
All right, so all of you people on here who thought Jason was going to have more children, shame on you. Shame.
Yeah, that stereotype is out the window.
But we are actively in the process of foster to adopt. So we'll have
a love child.
We'll have someone between us at some point.
You guys just love spending money on mini-me's.
Something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody that's watching, I want you to understand this lesson in life. People always ask, how did you get all that stuff behind you? I don't have any kids. This is what a wall looks like when you don't have to spend money on kids. Their wall is what a wall looks like. You gotta say. No, not true. Not true.
And look, and that was given to us. We didn't buy that.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious.
I can almost guarantee the furniture in your house looks better than ours too.
Yep.
Now,
Yeah,
what
even
was,
though
I
our
don't
kids
have any
are older.
furniture.
Okay.
What's
Yeah.
the oldest kid that you have?
My son Andrew, he's 25 years old.
And then the youngest?
15, and then the three in
for
the
Jason.
middle are.
No, for Jason. What's the youngest?
Oh, my young Seth is 23.
Okay, so both of your kids are grown and
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
You know, we black, we kick them out at 17.
Yeah. Yeah. 17, better go find a job, help pay rent.
especially if they're a guy. Jason looked at them when they were 16 and like, look, in 2 years, you're a grown ass man. You'll be out of my house.
Look.
Whereas moms are always like, my baby, I gotta keep my baby.
Yep.
Katie, what's your oldest and what's your youngest?
My oldest is 23. I have 23, 21, and 15. So yeah, so we have
one
4
more
adults.
in the house. Okay, well, and you got that. Oh, the 15-year-old thinks they're an adult.
He thinks he's
He knows
something.
it. He knows it all. He knows it all. When a know-it-all, that's a know-it-all right there.
Now, is that the one that enjoys watching Zeke? Is that
Yes.
the one?
Oh my gosh, he loves
Oh,
it so much.
Thank you. Tell him we're gonna make a part for him. We're going to make a part for him. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I also love that you have the idea that you're gonna bring on other couples to talk. And when they say couples, everybody, it's not always just they're gonna have all kinds of couples. They're gonna have, couples where they look like each other. They're gonna have couples that are different ethnicities. They're gonna have couples that are mixed with several different ethnicities. They're going to have couples that are same. Like, they're just going to have couples, and it's not always going to be married couples. Sometimes you guys are going to have couples, because we all know friends that have been in mutual relationships lasting 5+ years, and they just have never been married. So it's great that you're going to have them on there. What is the topic that you're looking most forward to talking to about, Jason?
I'm always looking to talk to a couple that has longevity, a couple that's lasted through the tough times, and what makes them keep it fresh and new, and what asking the guy in the relationship what keeps that fire burning for the one that you across from.
Yeah, and I hope we get away from the stereotypical thing, the easiest. How'd you stay married to this long? I just do whatever she tells me. Like, yeah, those are also very dull and boring marriages. But I want to see you guys, and I'm glad that you're going to differentiate between long-term marriages that have worked and been successful, and not long-term marriages that are just together because they were taught to stay together, but they're not really happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But we may talk to some of those couples too. It's just the ones that are willing to admit it and explain why they're together. So it's going to be very interesting to see that develop. Katie, what's a subject that you are really looking forward to talking about?
So I don't know that I have one topic that I look forward to talking about, because I feel like with every couple that we know, there's a different topic that can be discussed. Everybody lives a completely different life and has a completely different relationship. So I feel like with each and every couple, there's going to be a new topic that can be, brought forward. So I'm just looking forward to the variety part of it. I'm excited about that part.
All right. It says, Greg Jewell says, I think it helps a ton when you both have the same goals. Being on the same page is critical. I want to make a comment on that. But first, I got to give a shout out to my digital person who's been making, now you guys see the face of who's been making all of these logos, all of these backdrops, all these segments. But she's going to go back and watch this YouTube, and she's going to realize she needs to move the boxes, because when we post comments, Keone's gone right now. So, but
Heard.
I think, is that Gregory? Is that Weenie? Is that Weenie Gregory? Please let me know, because if it is, Gregory is engaged to be married. So that might be nice if you get him
Awesome,
on
awesome.
the show after and ask them how their experience has been. But he just said, I think it helps a ton when they have the same goals. Being on the same page is critical. And I take the last part, being on the same page, because I've been married before, is critical. Same goals sometimes doesn't have to be necessary as long as you guys have a mutual respect for each other's goals and are supportive
That's right.
each other's goals. Because sometimes couples that have the same interests in terms of jobs and whatever, two lawyers don't make a great marriage. Two doctors don't make a great marriage all the time, or uh, two stockbrokers. No, I'm just kidding. Don't make a great marriage. So what are your comments about what he just said? I think it helps a ton when you both have the same goals. Being on the same page is critical.
Definitely being on the same page
Mm-hmm.
with your significant other. Goals wise, I mean, we both have goals. We both have things that we want to accomplish in this life of ours. My thing is to, like, for instance, you brought up that she does all this for, the production and stuff. I like to push her and let her do her thing, and support her. Just support her with whatever she does. And when she's having her good days and bad days, I'm there
Mm-hmm.
to keep her focused on the goal that she's going to accomplish.
That's good. What do you have to say about it, Katie?
I really think that as the goals have to align, you definitely have to be on the same page. Um, you don't have to have the same goals, but your goals have to align with one another. One person's goals can't be, travel in the world, and then the other person's goals are, you know,
Sitting on the couch.
right. So they have to align. They don't have to be the same. I mean, we have very different interests, but we are really respectful of each other's interests. Um, he got lucky. He got lucky with me because I never complain about the amount of sports that are on the TV at any given time. It's his thing, and I'm not a big TV watcher anyway, so why do I care what's on there?
Jay, I've known Jason for a while, and Jason is the most. I don't know if the word is understanding, compatible, or just like the most easygoing. Like it's if you piss Jason off, you've done a lot. Because he lets a lot of stuff roll. He's so even keeled. That's why when you told me, "Hey John, sorry, I burped. Hey Keone, are you coming to our wedding?" I was like, "You married Jason. What's the celebration for?" And I was doing that tongue in cheek. I was like, "No, Jason's that's an easy catch, and
Yeah.
not because he's just easy, but like th- his mentality. A lot of people would want to be married to, and yours is too, Katie. Even though your voice gets high sometimes, you're very understanding. Um, you have direction too. So I
Hmm.
think it's a really, really good combination. I'll call you guys the combination to lock it in. You got to have that right combination, right? What's going to be a hard subject? Sorry, guys, I drank a lot of soda for some reason. Some more to help. Uh, what's a conversation, Jason, that you think or may be hard for you to talk about, but you're going to push through it?
Well, the toughest one is, history. Relationship history. What caused us to get to this point? Heartbreak,
Hmm.
disappointment, trust issues, things of that nature. It's a tough one for both of us. I mean, we had to grow. We had to grow in both. I honestly, I told her in the beginning that I was on both sides of the spectrum. I've had the trust issues and I caused the trust issues, but it's something that I told her time and time again that I'm working on to keep to keep her around, and I plan on to do that to this day. So that's one of the tough ones that you we talk about. Hopefully, somebody will open up and give us that truth, and let us
Hmm.
know, they might be able to help me out in some ways, but just by speaking about something. So
That's easy. Not easy. That's great what you just said. I think you said when you said I had the trust issues and I've caused the trust issues. I think that's one of the things that makes it easier is when you're able to have that self accountability. We all meet the people that it's always everybody else's fault. There's no accountability in what may have even if your contribution was 2%, what was that 2%? And that will make you better. Well, she cheated on me. Well, let's go. I'm not saying she's correct for cheating, but let's go over what's happening. How many times did you forget her birthday and your anniversary? How many times did you lie about something? How many times did you do this? How many times did you complain? There's a laundry list of things you can go down and kind of check the boxes and say, what did I do to kind of help push this person towards that way? And sometimes we know there isn't something you did, but you got to have that kind of accountability. And I like that you guys are going to be the ones to talk about it. Katie, what's a subject that you might find hard to talk about? And it can't be what Jason just said.
I think that the topic of raising other people's kids I think that'll be, or not raising, but, helping to be a parental figure to other people's kids is probably what's going to be a tough conversation. And not because we really struggle horribly in that, but because your children bring out so much emotion in you that it's, I feel like that'll be a tough conversation. And we're really open. So, we both are pretty open and say what we're thinking and what we're feeling. So there's not going to be a whole lot of censorship.
Yep.
Well, you know what? That is a hard subject because, people are so on different sides of the fences of that. If you're a stepdad or stepmom, you can't discipline my child. Then why'd you marry me? You think I'm going to sit up here and let your 16-year-old son talk to me any kind of way because I'm not his real daddy? No, I'll do something his real daddy ain't going to do and punch him in the damn mouth. So, thing, you've got your teenage daughter and I'm the one here helping take care of her, and she's just going to talk to me any kind of way. Right. So, and then some people, they're on the fence of, hey, that's not your kid, let it be. But you know what? When it needs to be your kid or wants to be your kid or you need it to be, then all of a sudden it is. Right. I've seen some relationship with step parents was like, you're not my daddy. And then the next day is like, hey, you got $25 so I can go to ask your daddy.
I literally just watched a video about this right before we started this show.
Yeah, it does. It that comes into play. My kids included. They. I mean, it's not like you ain't my mama, but they're like, hey, Katie, let me help me out here.
Yeah, can I get $20?
Yeah.
But I mean,
Gregory keeps it up. Him and his fiance can end up coming on the night. Greg says, your friends and relationships are usually a reflection of you. Usually, and I like that he caveated. Usually at the end, because it is usually, sometimes we've had friends that we've had for too long, and sometimes we've had friends that we haven't had that we've had for too long and we need to get rid of, and they were a poor reflection of us, but we didn't realize it until it was too late.
Mm-hmm. I 1,000% agree with that.
Oh yeah, definitely had. I had a life before Katie came along. I mean, me, I was sports, out all night hanging out with my guys and then up in the morning just going to work. But like upon meeting her, it was a clear decision. Like that's when I knew that I was going to marry this woman. Like if I could adjust to, trying to keep friends and spend more time with her. If I could align that up, it would be fine. I did have to shed some hours off the friends end of it, because you got to compromise and make it work. Get to know that person you're about to marry. So
they still resent me for it.
They feel like I'm gone. I'm gone. Not in the group anymore. It's like I'll get a, hey man, ain't heard from you, and just wonder if you're still around. I'm like, hey man, I'm still here. Just love being around her. That's all. I mean, it's the bros before, it's gone now. So, it's happy life, happy wife, man. That's what it is now.
Well, you know what? Hey, I always did this. I'm like, hey, I mean, my friends didn't go away. I was married. I just learned how to incorporate them in the fun,
Mm,
and they just have the only ones that don't get. I just didn't like when people would just like they can't do anything. Like all fun is out the window now. It's like, what kind of marriage is that? Like my wife didn't stop me
mm,
from doing anything. What I mean by stop me is I didn't have the attitude of I'm gonna do what I'm watching. She's like, yeah, go do this, go do that, and then I did the same. But there was a balance to it. Um, but this is going to be amazing, everybody. This is the shortest episode you're ever going to see. It's always the Meet the Cast episode, and we will be here bi-weekly on Thursdays. I almost said Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So catch us. We might change to 8, but 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Catch us every bi-weekly on Thursday at the J and K Show. If you are a couple out there and you want to be a guest on the show, just email keoneproductions at gmail.com and we'll see what we can do about that. All right. Thank you,
love it.
Jason. Thank you, Kay. You
Hey,
have it
thank
the
you
rest
guys.
of the way, and we'll see you on the next one.
All
Bye
right.
guys.
Bye.